Into Tennessee, where we have a new tornado warning that has been issued. You see that red box in the northeast part of the state. This is also a confirmed tornado, a particularly dangerous situation type warning, PDS warning from this tornado as it came through the region, through some small towns, and is now approaching I-75. So if you know anybody who is traveling right now in eastern Tennessee, trying to go up through the state on your way towards Kentucky, tell them not to drive through that storm, if at all possible, because it's a very, as we saw from Charles Peak, it's a very dangerous spot to be. You usually don't know your exact location with regards to the storm itself and the worst of that condition. Look at the rotation signature on this thing. The greens and blues going towards the radar sight off to the side of the screen over here. Red's moving away. So it came right through the Norma area and the towns just north of there along 63. Now just northeast of Norma and continuing to move on off towards the north and east, which will put it near the I-75 corridor and the Buckeye area before too much longer at about 6 o'clock or so. So, gosh, get in your safe spot in Dean to Buckeye. If you're anywhere in between here, you have to take this storm very seriously. We know that we have a tornado with this one right now. Moving up towards the Elk Valley area after that. And so when you're looking at this, it's kind of a little bit hard to get your bearings because you got to go back and forth between the regular mode of the radar and this known as the correlation coefficient to see where the rain is and what might be not rain and what might be kind of thrown into the air. But we're looking into this zone right in here for where there may be a dropout, I believe, to see that. So there's the Norma area. Yeah, tough to pick out on this mode right now, at least from this close vantage point of the monitor. You might have a better chance at home, to tell you the truth. So again, right in here, that little appendage was part of the problem. And then we have a secondary zone in here with some rotation. This may be trying to cycle, give you two separate tornadoes. We know that we've got very strong rotation in here. We'll see if this one kind of bends and curls left, and maybe a new rotation will start off on the south side of this thing. But gosh, it really was a problem as it went through the towns near Norma and just north of there. Again, the wide view shows you several more rounds of storms, which is always problematic, guys, when you're looking at a chance for, big weather and damage to buildings and damage to people's, livelihoods, and then more mess on the way. That makes it a very, very difficult evening. So that's something that we will continue to watch for sure. Now, from here, we want to check in with national correspondent Justin Michaels. He's been in the Cincinnati area where it's been raining on and off all day. Justin, you had rain this morning, then a break. We saw some sun, and now we're waiting on more.
Yep. And now we have Cincinnati and this entire Ohio River Valley shrouded in clouds. In fact, looking back at Cincinnati, Mark, that is the sky of a storm. And in fact, no matter which direction you look at this point, whether it's east or all the way to the west, you can definitely see that there is trouble on the horizon in every direction. It's concerning to know that those tornadoes are on the ground. Tornado warnings are off to our west because if you take a look at the radar, they're moving in this direction. So we're in a tornado watch here right now. It's currently set to expire at 10 o'clock tonight. Could that be extended? That is yet to be determined. We do know the flood watch has been extended, originally listed through 8 o'clock tonight. It's now pushed to 11 o'clock tonight, and that highlights another threat. Flooding is certainly a possibility as well. Remember, when it comes to this system and this severe weather, we're not just talking about tornadic activity, but also the potential for 2-inch diameter hail or greater, also potential flash flooding and localized flooding in different communities, depending on how much rain comes down, how quickly and where that happens. But when you look off to the west and you take a look across the Ohio River and you see that greenish hue to that gray sky, that is always something you don't want to see. Even to the untrained eye, that is an ominous looking sky and one that we all need to be concerned about. So as you go through your evening, remember, this is the time people are letting out of work. They're maybe considering their evening plans. Where are we going to go tonight for dinner? Maybe tonight's the night you want to make sure your cell phones are fully charged. Those alerts are on full blast so you're able to hear any watch that turns into a warning, which is already happening. Remember, the first step is the watch that we're in right now. The next step would be a warning. Let's hope that doesn't happen here, but we already have evidence that it's happening all across this part of the country as severe weather continues. The Weather Channel will continue our live coverage to keep you informed and safe. all night.